here to sit and chant about the glorious month of Kartik, the things that we can do, the things that we can refrain from. And in the course of the discussion, we'll discuss some Hari Katha, something from the pages of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Again, for those who joined us later, it's a humble request if we can keep our videos on so that I can see all of you all. Um, and of course, for me, all the faces are very much familiar. But just for some who have not seen your other friends from different congregations, let me introduce you. We have youth from multiple congregations here. We have, of course, youth from Seattle, including myself. Of course, I'm not a youth, but I wouldn't hesitate to call myself a youth. So I'm from Seattle. I see some from Seattle. We have, of course, youth from New Jersey. We have youth from Pennsylvania, that is Harrisburg. We have some from Dallas. We have some from Austin, and we have some from who were earlier in ISB, then came to Seattle, and then are now in Chicago. So it's like a mixed group. We are all scattered in different places. So thank you once again for joining from different parts with different time zones. Only with this one primary agenda as to how, as a community, we can move forward in the path of hearing and collectively, or as a group, we can make advancement on this path of Krishna consciousness. Before I start, let us offer Mangalacharan prayers, also called as the invocation prayers. Let us seek auspiciousness from our spiritual superiors like Srila Prabhupada, and then get started in our today's discussion. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanostute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamine Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Hemavadivya Chavisundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते नित्यानन्दमहं नौमि सर्वानन्दकरं परं हरिनामप्रदं देवम् अवधूतशिरोमणि। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। श्री नित्यानंद राम की जय। समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। Once again, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you all for being here and prioritizing this gathering, this discussion of Harikatha. I know we all have different commitments, assignments, projects. Probably some are deadline. You have a deadline of today, 11:55. I remember when I was doing my masters, there would be so many days when the deadline would be 11:55. And I would eventually start at like 10 o'clock because that's when it would strike to me that, oh, I have a deadline, 11:59. So there will be so many things going on around, but amidst all of that, you all are here to chant and hear. Of course, I cannot say dance. In physical gathering, we can say chant and dance, but here we cannot. But thank you once again for very kindly joining and inspiring me with your very, very kind presence. We see that this is the very holy month of Kartik. And this month of Kartik, actually, this whole month goes by three different names. The Shastra, it is very beautifully described. The first name for this month is Damodar Mas. Masa means month. Like you have Purushottam Mas. Likewise, Kartik. So this month is called as Damodar Mas, the first name. Second, it is called as Kartik Mas, as we all know it. So first is Damodar Mas, second is Kartik Mas. And third, Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, also called as the Nectar of Devotion, explains this month also goes by another name called as Urja Vrat. Now, this may be something different. The third is Urja Vrat. Damodar Mas, Kartik Mas, and Urja Vrat. What do they mean? What is the significance? We'll come to that. First is Damodar Mas. Now we see in the Western calendar we have 12 months from January till December. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You have all the 12 months. Similarly, in the Vedic calendar, we do not have these names, but it goes by different names. It starts by Chaitra, then you have Vaishak, like that you have different months, Jeshta, Phalgun, etc. And Kartik is one of those months of the 12 months of the Vedic calendar. So just like when we put tilak in our body, ideally we should be putting tilak all over our body. If not all over body, at least on the forehead. It starts with the forehead and then it goes all over the body. So when we put tilak all over our body, we see we put tilak on 12 markings, 12 different parts of our body. And they all go by different names of the Supreme Lord. You have Keshava, Madhava, Trivikram, Vamana, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara, etc. Different names. Different parts of the body are decorated with tilak with these names. It's not the chandan that's going to help us. It's the name of the Lord that's going to help us. So if we just mechanically put, it is great. But if we chant the names and then we put, it is the name that's going to protect that part of the body. That's the understanding. So likewise, all these 12 months of the Vedic calendar that are there have one predominating deity, one deity that needs to be worshipped in that month. Like, for example, the first month of the Western calendar is January. Now, this word January, if you see, it comes from Greek language. And if you see the trace back the origin, it goes back to a Greek god by the name Janus. In English, Janus faced means two-faced. बाहर दिखाने का एक मुंह and अंदर एक. There's one face outside. There's one face for the Sunday feast in the temple, and there's another face when our close friends are there. This is Janus face, two-faced. That's very interesting. We see we start the year by quote unquote worshipping Janus face Greek god, someone who's two-faced. And what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Trinadapi suvichena taroreva sahishnana. You should be humble, you should be straightforward. The face that you have in public assembly, that's the face you should have internally also. Not being duplicit, not having Janus face. So Western calendar, sadly, unfortunately, we start the year by worshipping a personality who is Janus faced. But in our Vedic calendar, we find every month that we start with Chaitra, Vaishak, etc., we start by worshipping different personalities. And primarily, they are all Krishna, who has done pastimes in different kalpa. Like that, in this month, the personality who needs to be worshipped is Damodar. Why? Not getting into the details, very basic. Damodar needs to be worshipped because the whole pastime of Damodar took place in this month. And primarily, it took place on the day of Diwali. The day when we celebrate Diwali is the day when our Lala, our Thakurji, got bound by the ropes of Maya Yashoda. So when everyone is bursting firecrackers, our Krishna is standing. Someone rescue me because there are ropes around his belly, not being able to move. The day of Diwali is the day when our Krishna gets bound as Damodar. And because that happens in this month is called as Damodar Mas. Very basic explanation. Second understanding is this month is also called as Kartik Mas. Why? Because we see Srimati Radharani's mother has a name called as, what's the name of Srimati Radharani's mother? Who can unmute?
Kirtida.
Kirtida, yes. Kirtida. Hmm? In Sanskrit, da means to give. Da yacha. Narada, Yashoda. Yasha means fame, glory. Yashoda. She who gives fame to the all famous Krishna is Yashoda. Krishna is all famous. There's practically no one who doesn't know Krishna. But he who becomes famous because of Maya's love is Yashoda. She gives fame. Likewise, Narada, Kirtida, etc. So Da means to give. So Radharani's mother is Kirtida. In parallel readings, we will find she also goes by the name Kirtika. Kirtida, and this is Kirtika, Ka. And Kirtika's daughter becomes Kartika. Mhm. Just like, for example, um, we have the Himalayan mountains called as Parvat. Parvat की बेटी हुई पार्वती. Parvat's daughter is Parvati, who gets married to Lord Shiva. Likewise, Kirtika's daughter is Kartika. And from Kartika, we get the name as Kartik. So now who is the predominating deity of Kartik? Srimati Radharani. Because where is the origin? Now we're just going back. We are tracing where the origin is. This word Kartik comes from Kartika, but Kartika is the name of Srimati Radharani. Hmm? Kartika's mother uh, is Kirtida. So Kirtida or Kartika, and that way we have Srimati Radharani. Now, it is very beautifully explained. Krishna says of all the months I am Margashish. Masanam Margashisham. He says of all the months I am Margashish. Why does Krishna say of all the months he is Margashish? Because in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam it is explained that the gopis of Vrindavan who were there, the unmarried gopis who had not been yet married, the unmarried gopis of Vrindavan worshipped Krishna, which means they did Katyayani Vrat. They worshipped Durga Devi during the month of Margashish. To get Krishna, the unmarried gopis worshipped Katyayani Devi in the month of Margashish, and that's why Krishna says of all the months I'm Margashish. Why? Because the unmarried gopis worship me in that. But Krishna doesn't say that month is dear to me. He just says I am that month. But he doesn't say that month is dear to me. But in the Puranas we find Krishna outrightly he proclaims. He says, well, of all the months, Margashish, I am that month of Margashish. But which is that month where it actually is very dear to me? Krishna says that is Kartik. Why Kartik? Because Kartik is Srimati Radharani. It is the month of Srimati Radharani. Wherever Srimati Radharani is there, our Lala is there. Our Thakurji is there. So it's very interesting. We see after Kartik, we'll have Margashish Mas, where Katyayani Vrat is done. So Kartik is Srimati Radharani and Margashish is Krishna. So even in the months, Radha and Krishna are together. You see, even in the months, Radha and Krishna cannot be separated. They are there together even in those months. Ideally, in our Gaudiya tradition, at least in our ISKCON, we do not celebrate. I wouldn't use the word celebrate, but we do not observe the Vrat of Katyayani. We observe Kartik, but we do not observe Katyayani. Why? I wouldn't get into the details because that would just take a tangent in the whole discussion. But the only person I've ever heard in our ISKCON movement who did Katyayani Vrat religiously is Mahaprem Kirtan Prabhu. Who is he?
Andrew Brook.
Ayendra Prabhu. The only personality I can think of who did Katyayani Vrat, and he would have his own explanation of why he is doing Katyayani Vrat, is Sripad Ayendra Prabhu. But pretty much no one in ISKCON ever did that. Sripad Ayendra Prabhu would do Katyayani Vrat like the Braja Gopis, where in the middle of the night he would sneak out, he would go to Jamuna, he would take a bath, um, he would get dust from Yamuna and he would put it all over his room, and he would sleep on the dust of Yamuna. Why? Because it is explained in Vrindavan Mahimamrita by Prabodhananda Saraswati that if you sleep on the dust of Vrindavan, then the dust of Vrindavan will benedict you to eternally live in Braja. So he was so transcendently mad to eternally live in Vrindavan that he would get Yamuna dust and he would put it all over his room. Mm. And he would do this for 24 years that he lived in Braja. So that's the Katyayani Vrat. So if Krishna is Margashish, then Kartik is Srimati Radharani. And even in the months, Radha and Krishna are always together. They are never separated. So the first month or the first name is Damodar Mas. Why? Because Damodar pastime took place. Second is Kartik Mas. Why? Because Kartika is Srimati Radharani. So in Sanskrit is a very beautiful language. When you use the word ka, it denotes soft heart nature. Like for example, Gopi, Gopika. That Gopi was a very soft heart, becomes Gopika. So the word ka at the end represents a person who has a very soft heart. Gopi, Gopika. Kumari, Kumarika. So the word ka represents very soft nature. Likewise, Kirti, Kirtida, Kirtika, etc. That Srimati Radharani who has a very, very soft heart, very, very tender heart. Mm. We don't use the word ka for Krishna because, well, he is Bhagavan, but realistically, he doesn't have a soft heart. He has a very crooked heart. He stands crooked, he looks crooked, he speaks crooked, he glances crooked. बोलते टेढ़े हैं, देखते टेढ़े हैं, खड़े टेढ़े होते हैं, सब टेढ़े हैं. That's why Vrindavan he has a name. बाके बिहारी लाल की जय. Bake means he is very teda. Everything is teda. You see in Bake Bihari Brindavan Dham, every 2 minutes they will open and close the temple, the curtains. हर 2 minute में they will open, close, open, close, open, close. Why? Because he has a history. Very interesting personality whom we worship. Baki Bihari is such a personality. If you have contact with his eyes for 2 minutes, the pujaris have a fear he will leave the altar and run behind you. So that eye contact shouldn't take place for more than 2 minutes. They open, they close, they open, they close, they open, they close. Why? Because there is a history in the past where he has left the altar and he has run with his devotee. And the pujari has to go back with a stick. Hey, come back to the altar. We have kept bhoga for offering. Come and honor it. So he is very teda. He is very banke. But our Srimati Radharani is very straightforward. She speaks straightforward, everything is straightforward. Only her glance, it's not a crooked glance, it's a sidelong glance. Radha Kripa Kataksha. It's a sidelong glance. It is explained by Prabodhananda Saraswati that when our Sri Krishna in the morning, he leaves home to go to the forest, Vana Vihar Leela. So he goes with all his friends. You have Madhumangal, you have Sridham, Stoka Krishna, Vasudham, Dham, Kinkini, Arjun Sakhā. Arjun Sakhā is one friend of Krishna. Priya Narma Sakha. And all these friends go. And as they're going inside the forest, Maya Yashoda is following. And Krishna looks at Mother Yashoda and says, can you just stop? You have been following me for such a long time. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Come on, we are a youth gathering. Like, I am good by myself. You don't have to follow me. But Mother Yashoda likes Krishna so much. She always wants to make sure that Krishna is okay. Krishna is not bitten by any snake because our Krishna, he will climb up. Being with the monkeys, he will climb up on a tree and not knowing there's a snake. Mother Yashoda has a fear that maybe that snake will bite Lala. So almost inside the forest, Maya Yashoda keeps following, and Krishna looks at her and says, "Go back. I'm okay. You don't have to. You don't have to micromanage me so much. Can you just go back?" And Mother Yashoda goes. And as Krishna is going inside the forest, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati explains, Venum nipatitam skalitam shikandam brastham chapita vasanam brajaraja sunu tasya kataksha saraghata vimurchitasya tam radhika paricharami kadarasena. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, as Krishna is entering the forest, as he's going inside, Madhumangal looks at Krishna and he just nudges Krishna. Krishna says, what happened? And he looks at Krishna and says, look that side. And towards that side, Srimati Radharani is standing. And Srimati Radharani, when she gets to know Krishna is there, she doesn't even turn her head. She doesn't even look at Krishna completely. She just gives a sidelong glance. Very charismatically, she gives a sidelong glance. And that sidelong glance, Prabodhananda Saraswati explains what happens when she gives a sidelong glance to Krishna. Where that Krishna was playing the flute. Now his hand is shivering. That that hand which always holds the flute is now shivering, so much so that the flute falls to the ground. Venum kara nipatitam. Patit. Patan hona means to fall down. That hand starts shaking. He's horripilating. Just with a sidelong glance of Srimati Radharani. Sripad Aindra Prabhu would say, if you see Krishna, you will faint. If you see my Radharani, you will die. Aindra Prabhu would say, if you see Krishna, you will faint. If you see Srimati Radharani, you will die. He would say, these eyes cannot take the beauty of Srimati Radharani. It's too much. It's too much for the body to take. So when Srimati Radharani is looking at Krishna, the flute from the hand of Krishna falls. Brastapita Vasanam Brajaraja Sunu. He who is Brajaraja Sunu, the son of the king of Vrindavan, for him the upper cloth slips and falls down. Just with a sidelong glance. You can imagine if this is the sidelong glance, what will happen when she glances completely at Srimati at Sri Krishna? What will happen to Sri Krishna? We can't even imagine. The flute falls down to the ground. The upper cloth of Krishna falls down. Tasya kataksha saraghat vimurchitasya. This kataksha Srimati Radharani is such, Prabodhana Saraswati is saying, vimurchitasya. Our Krishna, who couldn't hold the flute, who couldn't hold his Angavastra, now is not able to hold himself. And he falls down to the ground completely unconscious. 440-volt Jhatka. And he is down to the ground, not able to hold himself. Tam Radhika Paricharami Kadarasena. Prabodhana Saraswati says, when will that Srimati Radharani glance on me so that I will also horripilate? The upper cloth on my body falls and I can also fall down to the ground, completely unconscious, mad, intoxicated in Krishna consciousness. That is the personality whom we are worshipping this month of Kartik, Srimati Radharani. So first is Damodar Mas, second is Kartik Mas, and third, Bhakti Rasa Sindhu explains, is called as Urja Vrat. Vrata means austerity, and Urja means strength. We are all looking for strength. We are not talking about LA fitness. We are not talking about gym. That's not the strength we are talking about. We're talking about spiritual strength. We are all looking for strength. If anyone in this world has strength, it is because Krishna is giving them. Not just physical strength. If anyone has beauty, it is because Krishna is giving a portion of his beauty to that jiva. Krishna is giving a portion of his fame to that jiva. Krishna is giving a portion of his knowledge to that jiva. Krishna is giving a portion of his renunciation to that jiva. If we see someone in this world, quote unquote, if someone is beautiful in this world, and for example, the boys, you say the opposite gender, and you're like, oh wow, boys can relate it very fast. Hmm? In this, boys are PhDs. This is something which it comes naturally. If you see the opposite gender, Naturally, oh, the person is very beautiful. Srila Prabhupada would oftentimes explain, if someone is beautiful, if the opposite gender is beautiful, the immediate thought should be, if this is the beauty that this jiva has, how beautiful will Srimati Radharani be? If Radharani is giving, or Krishna is giving a portion of his beauty to this jiva, and just a portion is making this jiva so beautiful, how beautiful will Srimati Radharani be? If just with one atomic, one atom, I'm getting enamored, I'm falling down to the ground flat. What will happen to me when I see Srimati Radharani? I will die. These eyes will not be able to take it. And it holds true even for the girls. It goes back and forth. We are living in a generation where no one is an exception. This is that generation where tires are tubeless, t-shirts are sleeveless, cooking food is fatless. The cooking that we do is without fire. You have induction. The youth are jobless. Politics is shameless. Relationships are loveless. And overall life is meaningless. Of course, this is not mine. I saw a reel on Instagram, so I just took it from there. It's not mine. You'll find it online. And life is just meaningless because everything is less, less, less. And realistically, life is meaningless because God is not there in the center, right? If you put the ingredient of God in the center, the whole jigsaw puzzle starts making sense. When we take God out and we start doing the things that we want to do, then leading a life becomes very, very difficult. Because now we are telling Krishna, Krishna, you can take a back seat. I can manage. I don't require you in my life. I can manage. And Krishna says, okay, well, do it. You have done it for thousands and millions of lifetimes and you have failed pathetically and miserably. Do it this time also. And what happens? Again, we fail. Again, miserably we fail. So why not just put our hand up and depend on Krishna? Why not just depend on Krishna? In the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find we have a personality by the name Srivas. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabho Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas, Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. These five personalities were there. I remember I was in the East Coast when this time when I'd come to New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So I think it was New Jersey or Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, I don't remember, some place. And we were in the car. I was there, Suvrat was there, I think Bhavik was there, Bhavik's brother was there, and I think Achyut was also there. I'm not sure. I think when we were going to Gita Nagari. And while we were going, there was you have this one store. I've not seen here in the West Coast, maybe we have it, but in the East Coast, I remember seeing it. You have five guys. You have the store five guys. Who are the five guys? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas, Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Those five guys are Panchatattva. I remember. I don't remember who were there in the car, but when we saw, we just started laughing. Those five guys are Panchatattva. So if you're there in the East Coast or in the West Coast also, and you see five guys, remember Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas, Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj was in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was, I think, winter time. So they took him to the Gap store, GAP. And he looked, GAP. And he said, Govinda Madhi Purusham. GAP, he remembered Govinda Madhi Purusham. Hmm? Goswami Tulsidas in Ramcharitmanas, he says, Jaki Rahi Bhavana Jaisi Prabhu Muhrata Tin Dekhi Desi. He says, based on the mood that you cultivate, you will be able to see Krishna everywhere. It's not that the world is a problem. Our eyes are contaminated. When we can change our vision, when purity is there in the heart, even things which are not even alive, dead matter, you will be able to see Krishna. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he could see Krishna in a pillar, which is actually a dead matter. So, what to speak of living entities? When Jiva advances on this path, even dead objects, you will be able to connect that to Krishna. One Prabhupada disciple was saying, in the United Arab Emirates, you have Dubai. He was saying it's not Dubai, It's do bhai, Krishna and Balaram. It's do bhai, Krishna Balaram. Hmm? So everything you can connect with Krishna. It's not a problem, just not a problem. When you start training your mind that way, every single thing you see, your mind will start working. And you will start looking for things as to how you can connect them. Small, small things. And this starts in two ways: reading Shastra and being around devotees. Individually, it's not possible. What does Srila Narottam Das Thakur say? एकाकी আমার নাহি পায়ে বল হরিনাম সংকীর্তনে একাকি আমার নাহি পায়ে বল হরিনাম সংকীর্তনে एकाकी আমার নাহি পায়ে বল হরিনাম সংকীর্তনে Narottam Das Thakur is saying that, my dear Lord, individually I have no strength. I need devotees around me. I need devotee association. I need friends who are like-minded. I don't want to cling around those friends who are just into Hollywood and Bollywood and Netflix and rap music and so on and so forth. Because that is not going to take me anywhere. Spiritually, that's not going to take me anywhere. Yesterday, someone sent me. I have just heard, I have never seen any of the episodes. Very famous TV show, Friends. And you know what I'm coming up with. One of the characters in that apparently passed away by drowning in his own apartment. And how old was he? 54, 53, 53, 54. And realistically, 54 is not old. It's young, right? It's just in his 50s. But what happened? Gone. All the fame is gone. All the money, all the Bank of America, all the Chase, Wells Fargo is all as it is. Yatharoop. Everything is there. Gone. The Jiva is taken out from this universe completely and now goes to another universe, having no idea whether he will get a human birth or whether he will slip to another lower species. It's no idea. All the fame is gone, all the efforts are gone, all the money is gone, and you take nothing. Is this even intelligence? Probably not. Human life is given only for one thing. Labdhva sudurlabamidam bahusambhavante manushya martadam anityam apiha dhira turnam yatet napatet anumrityu yavan nishreyashaya bhagavan khalu sarvatasya. Canto 11, chapter 9, Bhagavatam. This human life is extremely rare, extremely rare. And this is the only opportunity to get out of this cycle. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. In no other species can you get out of this human species, of this cycle of birth and death. It's only when you become a human. In the fifth canto of the Bhagavatam, I was reading few days back, the demigods are crying. The demigods looking at the humans are crying and thinking, how fortunate are these human beings? We can only aspire to become humans, but they have become humans. And now they can perform bhajan and they can go back to Krishna. And look at us. We have so much Aishwarya. We have so much wealth. We have so much women. But what is the use? Ah, Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna, we are again going to come down. But these humans are so fortunate. In a span of 50, 60 years, they can chant, dance, feast, and they can go back to Krishna. And they will never come back. In the fifth canto, you can see for yourself. Chapter 90, the demigods are crying. How we wish we become humans. Who's praying? Indra, Chandra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna. Who are they talking about? All of us. This species that we have got, human species, is way more valuable than Indra, Chandra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna. They have to do tapasya to become who we are. Now, if we waste this opportunity, probably no one is more um, foolish than us. This time will never come back. This youth will never come back. And this human species will never come back. If we take it for granted, Krishna will say, well, you don't value this species much, so let me do one thing. Let me just exchange. Let me give it to someone who values this human species, this human body, and let me exchange you with some other. false body, where you will be happy and they're also happy. The other day I was reading, there's one person in Japan who was so fascinated by dogs. Probably you all would have seen. That guy spent about $20,000 to become a dog. I'm not joking. You can see online. Not to not to have a pet. He became a dog. He spent about $20,000 to become a dog. Now he's a dog, and now he has a master. Can you imagine a human being who has the ability to exit, hmm, like Sripad Vaisheshika Prabhu says, page by page, become a sage to exit the cage of material existence. You have the ability to exit the cage. And what are you doing? You're downgrading yourself. From an iPhone 15, you're going to some Nokia phone. Why would you downgrade yourself? Of course, you would do that if you plan to become a brahmachari, because brahmacharis have that phone. But you wouldn't want to downgrade yourself from an iPhone 15, right? Human species is like an iPhone 15. It's the best. It's actually way more valuable than that, but at least in a material sense, it's as valuable as an iPhone 15. Why would you downgrade that to an animal species when you have the ability to exit this cage and go back to Krishna? He spent about $20,000 for what? To become an animal. Dear devotees, this month of Kartik, these 30 days, if followed properly, it is nothing but back home, back to God in 30 days. Because in the Padma Puran, there is a story where Krishna is talking to Satyabhama, and Krishna says, in fact, Yamaraj says this. Yamaraj says, anyone who follows this month of Kartik, irrespective of however sinful they would have been probably meat eaters. They were into intoxications, or probably they were occasional drinkers, whatever it is. You see, we find different kinds of people. In India, I don't know, those who have lived in India will know. India is a very interesting place. You have different kinds of people and you have different philosophies that emerge. I remember in at least in Maharashtra and Mumbai, you will find that there are some kind of some sects who are not into. I mean, when you ask them, they will say they are not into eggs. And when you poke them a little more, they will say, "Well, we are not into eggs. We are only into eggs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Other days we will not have." Tuesday, Thursday. They are called as Tuesday, Thursday. Really, I'm not joking. If you see in Maharashtra, you will have one sect Tuesday, Thursday. They will be into meat eating Tuesday, Thursday. They will be into intoxication Tuesday, Thursday. So they consider themselves as Brahmana, but they're in the Tuesday, Thursday. That's a different sampradaya altogether. Hmm? So realistically, Krishna is telling Satyabhama and Yamaraj is also saying this. Even if someone was into meat eating occasionally or every single day or alcohol, or if he broke regulatory principles, gambling, illicit relations, etc. Even if he has done any of these things, if he follows the month of Kartik, Yamaraj gives a guarantee. Yamaraj, who is the CEO of hell, mm, he's the he's like the Satya Nadella. He is who are the other CEOs? Tim Cook, Apple. You have from Amazon. You have Andy, some Andy. These are the CEOs. But Yamaraj is the CEO of hell, and he gives a written guarantee. Anyone who follows this month of Kartik will never, ever, ever, ever come to this lower planets. Never. Never. It's impossible. If someone follows this month of Kartik even once, it's next to impossible that one slips down. All other vrats that we have last only for one lifetime. This month of Kartik lasts for 100 lifetimes. Just these following 30 days, it will give the benefit will last for 100 lifetimes. So who will be that personality who will not want to follow this path? Who will be that personality who will not want to advance and get Krishna? You see in India, during Diwali, you will have banner sale, 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 50% off, 50% off, 50% off. Actually, it's the same price. They just put a 50% off. Like you have Amazon. You'll have Black Friday and Cyber Monday and so on and so forth. If we see, the prices don't go down drastically. The price which they have quoted, it would have been the same price earlier. Now they just strike the old price and they give a new price. And in reality, it's pretty much the same price that it was earlier. So sale, sale, sale. Kartik month is like that. Sale, sale, sale. It's the month for advancement. Why? Because Krishna sells himself. Krishna is saying, I sell myself, I sell myself, I sell myself. Those who follow this month, I'm selling myself to them. Radha and Krishna can be in the heart of devotee just by performing this vrat for 30 days. It doesn't get any better. Doesn't get any better. These 30 days can be the time frame where we leave this material world once and for all, never to come back. We don't want to come back again and again, keep doing the same thing again and again, writing the assignments, writing the projects, going from one state to another state because we didn't get in state. Then we go to another state, then we get an admission there, then we get a job. Then 25 years we study for one page of resume. Then we go from employer to employer. Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, give me a job, give me a job, give me a job. It's pathetic. You study for 25 years and you have to consolidate that into one sheet called as resume. And then you have to beg, please give me a job, please give me a job, please give me a job. Because everyone knows the skills that you have. Everyone knows Java, everyone knows SQL, everyone knows Python, everyone knows AWS. We all know these things. So then how do you stand out? Then you have to beg, you have to cry. There has to be some romancha kampa shutaranga bhajo. You have to beg them, please give me a job. How pathetic is this? And then there comes a layoff. Hmm? Probably at this time, it's not, many of us cannot resonate. For those who are working, Saurabh Prabhu is there, who's working. For those who are working, you will be able to resonate what I am saying. And if not, don't worry. Another 4 5 years, you will also get into the same rat race of finding a job. Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. You get a job, and then there's a layoff. Then again you get back. No one wants to do this. No one wants to do this. It's just that we have no other alternative. But Krishna consciousness is that process where once and for all you quit and go back to Krishna. Yadgatva nanivartante. Once you go back to Krishna, there's no more ABCD, no more going to colleges, no more taking a loan for our education, no more repaying that loan. None of these things. All day that you have to do is just be around Krishna, play with Krishna, fight with Krishna, mock Krishna, sit on his chest and punch him, eat sweets with him. The friends of Krishna are so mischievous. They tell Krishna, Krishna, please close your eyes. We have a sweet for you. And Krishna says, what is the sweet? They say, no, no, close your eyes. We have a very special sweet. Today, our mother has made a very, very special sweet. You would have never tasted this sweet before. Please close your eyes. And Krishna, he trusts and he closes his eyes. And as Krishna closes his eyes, these friends, they put a flower inside Krishna's mouth. And Krishna, poor guy, he has no idea. Flower has gone inside his mouth. Krishna, and Krishna says, hey, you cheated me. It's not a sweet, it's a flower. And the friends start laughing. He who's Bhagavan becomes subservient to his devotee. Is it that Krishna doesn't know it's not a sweet? Of course he knows. But because this gives pleasure to his devotees, Krishna is ready to become their servant. God can be had in our pocket in 30 days. It's a big thing. It's a very big thing. Why go to him again and again asking for a house, asking for a car, asking for money, asking for a job, um, asking for a pay hike, making sure that the next assignment that we have is easy, next exam that we have is easy. Let only those questions come that I have studied, mm, and so on and so forth. Why go to him again and again? Why not have him in our pocket so that we don't have to go to him? He's always there with us. That is intelligence rather than striking business deals with him again and again. Srila Prabhupada would say, don't strike business deals with Krishna. Why? Because he's a better businessman. Of the cheats, he is the greatest gambler. पूरे जगत को टोपी पहना सकते हैं, भगवान को टोपी नहीं पहना सकते. We can fool the whole world, we can trick the whole world. We cannot trick Krishna, Baba. We cannot trick Krishna. He is there in our heart. Every single thought that's there right now, everyone sitting here, every single thought that is there, Krishna knows. And mind you, he never forgets. We forget. He never forgets and he never makes a mistake. These thoughts are there with him. He never forgets. So those who cultivate this thought of wanting to be with Krishna, wanting Krishna in this one lifetime. One time, you see in Vrindavan, you have uh, Bhagavad Puran Prabhu, who was a brahmachari, now is a grahastha in the 24-hour kirtan. So one time, Bhagavad Puran Prabhu and Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj, who recently took sannyas, who was Ekalavya Prabhu earlier. Hmm. So both of them were outside Indra Prabhu's room and they were talking, and Indra Prabhu was doing Shaligram Puja. So the door was open and they were talking amongst each other. And Bhagavad Puran Prabhu told Ekalavya Prabhu that, well, it's okay. Even if we don't get Krishna this lifetime, big deal. We can again come back next lifetime and we can continue. We're anyway in Vrindavan. What's the big deal in that? We'll again come back next lifetime and we'll continue. And Indra Prabhu was doing Shaligram Puja and he overheard this conversation. Ekalavya Prabhu explains, Indra Prabhu kept the Shaligram down in his basket. He picked up a chair and he threw the chair at them. He threw the chair at them and yelled at them and said, "How can you even imagine to come back and come back to this world? How can you even imagine to come back? It's now or never. This lifetime we have to get Krishna. There's no coming back." He literally picked up a chair and he threw it right at them. It's not sentimentalism, it's seriousness. Those who have studied Shastra will understand that everything is futile. Every single thing that materially we are doing is pretty much futile because he's going to stay back here. Does it mean we don't do it? Does it mean we are dropouts? That's not what we are expecting. Srila Prabhupada never wanted dropouts. He would always encourage Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj to study as much as possible because it is the age of science and technology. And if we are not proficient, if you are not materially educated, then no one is going to hear our katha. They will say, because he didn't study materially, that's why he's become a Baba now. That उसी लिए पूजा पाठ कर रहे हैं. पढ़ाई वढ़ाई किया नहीं, अभी उसके लिए पूजा पाठ कर रहे हैं. We don't want people to point fingers at us and say that, well, he was materially a failure and that's why he's into path of spirituality. We don't want that. We want to let the world know we are materially also good and we are spiritually also good. We are good in our education, and in spite of gaining that knowledge, we still want to prioritize spirituality. Why are people attracted to Gauranga Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, and so many others? Because they are all IIT, IIT Bombay. When that IIT stamp is there, people, oh, everything is secondary. You just see that IIT stamp and ticket. Whatever this person is going to say is going to be true. Education is very, very powerful in preaching. Very powerful. Even as preachers, I say, in every congregation, wherever I go, the first question that newcomers ask is, हाँ ये सब तो ठीक है क्या पढ़ाई वढ़ाई क्या किया आपने. And when you tell them the education, then they say, हाँ okay, ठीक है. It's just a confirmation for them that okay, this person is also educated, and then he is doing this. So don't put your education to the side. It is very, very important, even from a preaching standpoint, even from devotional standpoint. So these 30 days that we have, one can get Krishna. But for these 30 days, we need strength. And that strength is provided by Srimati Radharani. And strength in Sanskrit means Urja. So this month is also called as Urja Vrat, our third point. It's also called as Urja Vrat because we all need strength to perform this Vrat of Kartik. And Srimati Radharani is that personality who provides strength in our lives so that we can perform this Vrat of 30 days. Krishna is Balam Balavatam Chaham. He provides strength to everyone. But that Sri Krishna also gets strength from Srimati Radharani, who's Urjeshwari. Urjeshwari Srimati Radharani. And because we worship Urjeshwari Srimati Radharani, this month is called as Urjavat. Three names again. You have Damodar Mas, Kartik Mas, again for Srimati Radharani, and third is Urja Vrat. Urja means strength, and we are all looking for not material strength, but spiritual strength so that we can complete our vow, whatever we have taken. Not like New Year resolution. 1st January, we sign up for our gym membership. And by the time it's 5th of January, Gaur Premanande. You never go there. Huh? Pretty much all the boys would have done it. At least I remember I have done it in India. As a New Year resolution, I've got a gym membership and then Gaur Premanande. By the time it's 5th of January, till the time you do your hands, it's okay. Shoulders, it's okay. The day you do your legs, after that, it's point of no return once you do your legs. Hmm? So, not like the New Year resolution. Kartik Vrat is such that we follow it for 30 days strictly and religiously. And it can be done in the association of those who are like minded. Now, this is as far as the month of Kartik is concerned. What are the things that we can do? There are different articles, different things that we can come across. Some like to be very, very austere, and I wouldn't encourage that primarily, considering the fact that everyone here is youth and has education to prioritize. And some are here away from their parents, and even those who are there with parents, we are still young. We are still in our teens, 18, 19, or maybe even 20. So we don't want to be very, very austere, but some basic things, of course, if someone wants to be austere all 30 days, it's great, but try to take an oath that you can follow from day 1 till day 30. Not that we take an oath of chanting 64 rounds and first 3 days we chant 64 rounds and after that we are back to 16. That's not an oath. Even if it is just 16 rounds, let those 16 rounds be such that we are consistent and we are attentive. So, what are the things that we can do in this month of Kartik? First and foremost, get up in the morning. Don't sleep till 8 o'clock. Don't sleep till 9 o'clock. 8:30, 9:30. Even if it's a Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, don't get up late. Even if you want to get up late, do it after Kartik, but get up during Brahma Muhurta in Kartik. And there is practically no excuse because even if you're there in the East Coast, now we have a Japa call. 5 o'clock, we have a Japa call, which is happening pretty much every single day except for weekends, I believe. So there is no excuse. 5 o'clock, we can be up in the morning. We can finish our chanting. And if you're there in the West, well, Seattle anyway has a call. Hmm? One can join that. So there is no excuse. If you're there in the East Coast or in the West Coast, even if you're there central, again, there is no excuse because you can still join the East or you can still join the West. So there is no excuse. You have like-minded association and we have a japa call. So first, if you're writing it down, please be up in the morning. Up in Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta means 1.5 hours before sunrise. Now, if sunrise in your place is 5 o'clock, hmm, then 1.5 hours prior means 3:30. Now, 3:30 I wouldn't encourage because that's really early. But Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj would say 4 to 7 is a reasonable time. Doesn't mean we get up at 7 o'clock. 4 to 7 is for chanting time frame. Not that Prabhu ji बोले 4 से 7 मतलब हम 7 बजे उठेंगे. That is not Kartik Vrat. Try to be up not nothing later than 5 o'clock. Just try. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. If you find it difficult, I am ready to call you. If by calling, if you're going to wake up, I am ready to do that. Even if you are there in the East Coast and if it's 1 a.m. for me, I'm ready to call you. But just take this 30 days seriously. And of course, if you're in the West, I can definitely call you. There's no stopping. First, be up in Brahma Muhurta. Nothing later than 5 o'clock. Take it as an oath. Second, offering ghee lamps to Damodar, which is primary and fundamental, which we all pretty much do. If you're living in the dorm and you don't have a deity, you can use a photo. If you don't even have a photo, open your laptop, go to Google, go to write Radha Damodar, you have a photo, and with your ghee lamp do that. I remember I would do that when I was there in New Jersey. I didn't have a photo. I didn't have a deity either. So I would just open my laptop. I would go to Google Radha Damodar photo, full screen, and Namami Shwaram Sachitananda Rupa. My roommate would think this guy is crazy. He's opening our laptop and doing, but we are doing what we are doing because that's a lazy, intelligent way because we cannot go out and there's no temple close by, whatever. That's an easy way of doing it. I remember when, even here in Seattle, for Mahashivratri, um, when not in this house, I was there in another house earlier to this. So my roommate, for those who are from Seattle, Vineet Prabhu, who was here. So Vineet Prabhu and I, for Mahashivratri, we had actually a big TV. So we would connect our laptop and we would put a photo of Gopeshwar Mahadev, and we would do agarbatti, we would do ghee lamp, and we would also do abhishek. So abhishek, in the sense, we would have a plastic cup to the side, and we would have another metal pot to another side, and we would see the photo and we would offer water this way. So it's just seeing the photo, we would do abhishek, ghee lamp, and agarbatti. We didn't have Lord Shiva photo, but just seeing from the TV. So that is another thing that you can do. If you're away from parents, you don't have a photo, you don't have a deity, open up your laptop. Everyone has a laptop. Mm. None of us are from, the Stone Age man where we don't have a laptop. They're all, 18, 19, and pretty much for our academics, we all have a laptop. So just open, have Radha Damodar, and do ghee lamp. If you don't have ghee lamp, maybe an agarbatti. If you don't even have that, and if you don't even have a temple, at least open up the laptop, see the form of Radha Damodar, and sing Namam Ishwaram. This is the least we can do. If you say you don't have ghee lamp, Prabhuji, I don't have ghee lamp, I don't have ghee wicks, I don't have matchstick, I don't have lighter. I remember when I was in New Jersey, um, it was a time of Kartik, and from India I had brought matchsticks. So those matchsticks were done. This was in 2018. So 2017 I had got matchsticks, and those matchsticks were done. And I didn't have a matchstick. So it was Kartik month, and I had agarbattis and ghee lamp, but I didn't have matchsticks. So I went to my roommate and I said, "Can you give me your lighter?" And he looked at me. So I said, "What happened?" He said, "Lighter? You would always speak about Krishna consciousness. Now you are also joining our party, lighter." He thought I wanted to smoke. That's why I'm asking the lighter. I said, "Arey Baba, no, I want for Kartik. I don't have matchstick. I want it for my Kartik breath." So for the material world, lighter means for smoking. And for devotees, that same lighter can be used to light ghee lamp and offer it to Krishna. So if you don't have any of these things, at least open up your laptop and sing Namamishwar. That's the least we can do. So one, get up in the morning. Second, offer ghee lamps to Radha Damodar. Third, recite ashtakams, recite Vaishnava songs. Hmm. I think in the East, they're already doing it from 6:15 to 6:30, from what I've heard and what I believe. Even if you're not part of any of these calls, you can do it on your own. You have Vrinda Devi Ashtakam, you have Vrindavan Ashtakam, Govardhan Ashtakam, Govardhan Vas Pratana Ashtakam, Gandharvika Sampratana Ashtakam, Nandananda Ashtakam, Radha Kripa Kataksha, and the list goes on. The list goes on. Try to chant these Ashtakams, at least in this month of Kartik. Don't be lazy. Don't procrastinate. Don't think, अरे बाद में कर लेंगे. बाद में नहीं आएगा. What if this is the last Kartik we are celebrating? What if next year we are not going to be there? It's possible, right? What's the guarantee? What if this is the last Kartik? What if 2024 Kartik I'm not going to be there? It's very much possible. So don't take it as ये कार्तिक नहीं तो अगला कार्तिक ना यही कार्तिक में करना है. We will do it in this Kartik only. No more laziness. We have been lazy and we have procrastinated for lifetimes together. No more being lazy. Let us take this Kartik very, very seriously. Be up in the morning, offer ghee lamps to Radha Damodar, chant Ashtakams. Fourth, read Srimad Bhagavatam or Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even if it is just one page a day, please read it. It doesn't take much time. Even if you have academic deadlines and you don't have the big book, read Bhagavad Pravaha, Chaitanya Pravaha by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. If you don't even have that, go to Vedabase. Everyone has an internet connection. And if you come up to me and say, well, my dorm doesn't have an internet connection, which is highly impossible, even if that's the case, go to your library, UW or CMU or Urbana Champaign, whatever it is. Go to your library and pick up, make use of that internet. Even those who provide the internet will be uplifted because now you're using their internet to read Radha Kripa Kataksha. उनको भी बल प्राप्त होगा. Really, I'm saying, if you use their internet to study Shastra, that person who's paying for the internet, that university will get benefited. They will get one-sixth of the benefit. Why? Because you are the instrument. You are doing it. Krishna will see even those small things. So use your college internet if you don't have your dorm internet. Study Ashtakams that way. Study Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Either the whole book, that is the hard copy, page by page. If that's not possible, Pravaha. And if that's also not possible, then you can just go to Veda base. Apart from that, if you have Tulasi Maharani, if you're living with your parents, you will definitely have Tulasi Maharani, Brinda Devi. Offer water every single day. Please write these things down because mind will forget. Don't just keep hearing. Mind will forget. Everyone has a phone. Please write it down. Mind memory is very, very volatile. By the time this class is done, by the time it's night time, everything would have been erased. Everything would have been evaporated. If you write it down, you have something to remember for next 30 days. Hmm. If you have Brinda Devi, in her original swaroop, offer water every single day. Brinda Devi is very, very powerful. Offer water every single day. If you don't have that, have Brinda Devi photo. We would all have Brinda Devi photo in our local temples. Have Brinda Devi photo and offer water. If that is also not possible, if you don't have Brinda Devi photo, if you don't have Tulasi Maharani, what to do? Open your laptop, go to Google, have Brinda Devi photo. In Vrindavan Dham, you have Vrinda Kund, where Vrinda Devi is worshipped. Have Vrinda Devi's photo, and if you have a non-juta glass, hmm, two non-juta glasses. Non-juta means something that's not materially touched. If you have two non-juta glasses, take water in one glass, look at Brinda Devi photo, and offer it to another glass. You will get the benefit of doing Abhishek. This is just a lazy, intelligent way of doing it. Wherever you are, you can make advancement. There is no stopping for advancement. Sitting in any corner of the world, you can make advancement if you want it. Because Vrinda Devi will see, well, the amenities are not there, but this Jiva wants to do it. You get the benefit of doing Abhishek. And how much time does it take? Just take two glasses, take normal water, see photo, and then offer. Chant Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Gange Yachampe Yatadit Binindi Rochi Pravaha Snapitatma Brinde Bandhu Ka Bandhu Dviti Divya Vaso Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam. If you don't have this by heart, sing our normal Tulsi Arti that we sing. Hmm? Ei nivedana sakhiranugata koro सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी. ये तो by heart है ही. We all have this by heart. So why not we sing this? So all five things that we discussed, everything can be done at home. Every single thing. We don't require paraphernalias. I mean, of course, paraphernalias, if they are there, it's great. But even if you don't have it, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. So these are the five do's that we can do. What are the five? Who can say it? We get up in the morning first. What's the second?
Ghee lamp offering.
Ghee lamp offering to ourselves, right?
Radha Damodar.
Radha Damodar, okay. What's the third?
Sing Ashtakams.
Sing Ashtakams, yes. Bhavik, what are the Ashtakams?
Ashtakam, Radha.
Radha Kripa Kataksha, yes. Vrindavan Ashtakam, Govardhan Ashtakam, etc. Three. What is the fourth?
Read Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes, read Srimad Bhagavatam or Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you don't have hard copy, read Pravaha. If you don't have that also, go to Veda base. If you don't have an internet, go to your library. Benefit your college also. They will also get uplifted. That's number four. And last, fifth. What's the fifth?
Offer water to Tulsi Maharani.
Offer water to Tulasi Devi, Brinda Devi. If you don't have Tulasi, have photo. If you don't even have photo, just open up your laptop. Take two non-juta classes, offer it this way, and you get the benefit. बैठे बैठे फल प्राप्त करो. Sitting at one place, you get the benefit. Five do's, and these are very simple. These are very simple that everyone can follow. Not very austere. Not things like where I am going to sleep on the floor. I have seen sometimes the youth in some congregations not naming. They take austerities that I will sleep on the floor. And first day they sleep on the floor. And by the time it's day two, it's already very cold. I am seeing like Seattle itself is like mid 40s now, or somewhere around that uh, scale. So east would be pretty much even colder at this point. So you don't want to sleep on the floor and have cold by the next day. Right? Then you're not even in a position to do all 30 days. So take something that's realistic. Sleeping on the floor is great, but let us give it some time after a couple of years. Not at this point. Hmm? Take it simple. Five do's that we can do. Hmm? What are the don'ts? Hmm? What are things that we can refrain from or we can make sure that we avoid? First and foremost, with boys and girls, maintain strong brahmachari. Brahmacharini. No free mixing, no intermingling. Maintain strong brahmachari. This is mentioned in Kartik Mahima in so many places to maintain strong brahmacharya. Even if they are our friends, let us reach out to them only if it is really required. If it is some service related, some academics related. No free mixing. कुछ काम वाम है नहीं तो ऐसी बात करेंगे. Maintain strong brahmacharya. Holds true for the boys, holds true for the girls also. This um, this vrat itself can be very, very powerful. Those devotees who have got Krishna, if you see, have always been very strong in their brahmacharya. Even grahasthas. Without strong brahmacharya, it is very difficult to get Krishna. So have that as the first. No free mixing. Second, don't criticize devotees. Make sure don't have the side conversation, because I can pretty much figure out there's some side conversation going out, seeing the faces. Let's make sure we are there in this discussion, please, because we are here for a purpose, and the month is very auspicious, and everyone's time is valuable. Your time is also valuable. My time is also valuable. So let us make sure we benefit each other. Hmm. Let us not criticize devotees. Let us not offend Vaishnavas. Hmm. Vrindavan Das Thakur and Chaitanya Bhagavat explains, when we criticize devotees, we pretty much lose everything. He said this, she said that, they said that. Let anyone say anything. If it has nothing related to me, nothing concerning me, I will not open my mouth. Have they come and asked me for my opinion? If not, let me just keep my mouth shut. I will not say anything. And this is a thumb rule, not just for the month of Kartik. It is for all 12 months, for lifetime together. To maintain strong brahmacharini, and to not criticize devotees is not just a Kartik Vrat. It's a lifelong Vrat. Without these two things, it is difficult to make advancement. Even if we chant 192, and if you're offending Vaishnavas, we will never get Krishna. We will never get Krishna. All those who have criticized devotees in the past have fallen down like anything. You may be Shaubari Muni. You criticize Garuda, you will fall down. You may be Gopal Chapal. You criticize Srivas, you fall down. You may be Satsi Mata, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother. She had ill feelings against Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not forgive his own mother. You may be the Lord's mother, but if you criticize Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu will not still forgive you. It is only when Sachi Mata or Advaita Acharya, he gave his lotus feet dust to Sachi Mata, that Sachi Mata's offense was nullified. So even if you're Lord's mother, there is no excuse in this rule. Don't criticize devotees. Don't offend devotees. Don't talk loosely. Character is known by the speech that we have. Charitra is known by the speech that we have. Don't talk loosely. Carry yourself in a way where you don't demand respect. People give respect. And that comes through speech. Devotees means they have very good speech, favorable speech. Anuvvegakaram vakyam, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, having good speech, pleasant speech, which gives pleasure to others, gives happiness to others, doesn't pain their heart, doesn't prick their heart. Don't offend devotees, maintain strong brahmachari. These two things, if we can just follow, that's it. Of course, there are many more don'ts that we will have. People have don'ts in the form of diet. No fried, no sweets, no this, no that, etc. Again, that's up to you. If you don't want to eat fried, don't want to eat sweets, some have a vrat of only Ekadashi. The diet aspect, I leave it to you because some of you all are living away from parents. It should not happen that we are so austere in our diet that our parents get a call that your son just uh, fell down to the ground unconscious in his restroom or whatever. We don't want those scenarios. So if you have the experience of doing it from the previous years, from a diet standpoint, please go ahead. If not, keep your diet simple. Eat what you're eating, just keep it simple. More important than the diet is your bhajan, is your chanting and hearing. Prioritize on that. But just keep the don'ts as maintain brahmacharya, don't criticize devotees. Just follow these two things. And 5 do's of getting up in the morning systematically, attend the japa call. There is a reason why japa calls are set up, so that we have like-minded association. There is someone to start the call, there's someone to end the call. All that you have to do is get up. There's someone even to wake you up. अब इससे बेहतर तो होगा नहीं. Like we cannot expect that we come to your home and then pick you up and then take you to the restroom and brush your teeth. इतना तो होगा नहीं. That's something we have to do. But we are there even to call you if you want that. Be up in the morning. Join Japa call. Offer ghee lamps to Shri Radha Damodar. Chant Ashtakams. Read Srimad Bhagavatam and worship Brinda Devi. And in the don'ts, maintain strong brahmacharya and don't criticize devotees. Srimati Radharani, and in fact our Sri Krishna also do not like personalities who are offensive, those who criticize Vaishnavas. If we just do these things, 5 do's and 2 don'ts, Krishna is in our pocket. Krishna is literally in our pocket. Of course, the reason I didn't say chanting is it goes without saying. We all have to chant. Doesn't mean that it's not there in the do's, so I will not chant. Chanting is basic. We have to. When we are in the japa call, we chant. If we are uh, consistently doing 16, stick to that. If you want to increase in a way where you can maintain. I'm not uh, discouraging anyone. If you want to increase, please go ahead. But make sure you can do that for 30 days. From my experience, from the youth at least, I know initial 2 3 days they do it and then they drop. Some exceptions, of course, are there, but mostly it will drop. So make sure it is 16. Do that 16 sincerely, attentively, and keep your phone to the side. Keep your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your BeReal, your Discord, and these apps to the side. And just though that 1 hour that you have, just simply sit and chant. This is the best service that we can do to Krishna and to the whole of Guru Parampara. Sit down attentively and chant. Having said this, I humbly stop here. We spoke about the 5 do's, 2 don'ts. We spoke about chanting sincerely. We spoke about the three names of this month in the form of Damodar Mas, Kartik Mas, and Urja Vrat or Urja Shakti. We also spoke as to why it's called as Urja Vrat because we need strength and Srimati Radharani is Urjeshwari. And connected to that, we spoke different points about Krishna, how he goes to the forest, how Srimati Radharani gives a sidelong glance, how Krishna faints down to the ground, how his flute falls down to the ground, how his Angavastra falls down, and so on and so forth. Having said this, I humbly stop here. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. गुरुदेव की जय समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेम